Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and in today's video, and today is June 6th, a Friday, and in my first order of the day, there was a shopping order. There's a little trick that I did on a difficult to find item. So I kind of wanted to go over that. And then I figured I'd throw in some bonus coverage here. I'd go over the rest of my dash today. It was a pretty good dash and had some good orders. First, real quick, a programming note. I have posted all of my past content that I had. Was posting every day until all of that got posted, and this video is getting posted day after, so I'm pretty much just about caught up. And the plan is to dash 7 days a week, post daily content when I go full time. That is not right. I'm not dashing 7 days a week right now. We're still a few weeks away from that. So no word yet on the W-2, my future with them. So I'm just kind of like in limbo right now, waiting to see. But I'll dash whenever I can and post content whenever I have it for the time being, and more, changes to come here. So, anyway, first order this morning, logged in at 6 o'clock, had a couple declines, and then took this at 6:17. 2450 Meyer, 14 miles, only got to shop 6 items. So went ahead and took this. And I'm not, you see 8 things listed here, and a couple of the things was 0. So if a customer had something in their cart and then removed it, why would I still see it? Why wouldn't that get updated before the offer comes to you? I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway, the tricky item was the top item on the list there, that curtain liner. So there it is, and I get to that aisle, and I don't see anything that says Matex Mills on it. Sometimes on some of these kind of like store brands or off brands, in the app it says one thing, but it's actually a couple different brand names that it goes by, and so, and that's what this was. But anyway, and a clear shower curtain liner. Well, they had, I don't, to me, a curtain liner is a curtain liner. You're standing there in the aisle. They got a couple different sizes, and they got some that are the same size, but it's like a different weight, and this and that, and it's pretty, just one of these like complicated things. I scanned the first item that I thought it was going to be. That wasn't it. I go to scan something else. That wasn't it. And instead of pulling items off the little pegs and turning them around and to get the barcode and scanning each one, well, this little trick I did today was I just scanned the tags on the end of the pegs, that like the little shelf tags, and you can, and I don't know, it seemed like a brand new thing to me, but I don't know, maybe because my memory is so bad, maybe in the past I have done this before. I don't know. I got my, like I'm sorry guys, my memory is just shot, but it it felt like a brand new trick that I learned today. So let's just go with that it was brand new for me. Scan one shelf tag, that wasn't it. Scan, it's like the fourth thing I scanned. Second shelf tag, and I got a match. Okay. And, grabbed it and put it in my basket. So that's like a little trick going forward for items like this, or, oh, there's different, like I had a Target order the other day with washcloths. Sometimes, you can have different, 5 or 6 different washcloths. They all look the same. If you're a man shopping for some kind of product for a woman, all these shampoos here look the same to me, well, you can just start, scanning shelf tags. Um, the I give that advice as a trick to use, but the one thing I don't like about it is, and I don't want to use this any more than I have to. The thing I don't like about it is if items are not in their correct position on the shelf, then you're really not getting the right thing. So I go to scan the shelf tag. Oh, boom, you got a match. And I grab the item that's sitting above that tag. Well, it's not 100% guarantee that's the right item. It could have been something that was moved. So you're kind of chancing it on that it is the right item. But like I said, I would only do it on tricky items, and where you got a bunch of similar items and they all look the same, and that's the type of situation I would do it. Um, Finished the shop at 6:34, so not even 10 minutes, and then delivered at 7:01. So that's less than an hour to make the 24.50. So off to a good start. And then that delivered to kind of like near South Columbus, and I was heading out of there, heading south to come back to zone, and I had to do a U-turn in the fire station parking lot because I got this Buckeye Donuts order. And heck yeah, this is just going to like the west side. Like you see here, a little bit north of my zone. So, hey, absolutely. So I make my U-turn, go over to Buckeye Donuts. The order was ready. It was 24 donuts, and it just went to a trucking company on west side. Easy. It took me 25 minutes, made 17.50. So I'm at a really good start here. This had to wait, 20 minutes or so to get my first order, but then these two orders got me off to that really good start today. 3.50 and a $14 tip on that. And then just 5 minutes later, I get another good one. This is almost $30 here. Yeah, it's 20 miles, but that's okay. And only 8 items. But I was able to look at there's a problem here, folks, and I was able to take a look at the list before I accepted this. And of course, you only have seconds to make your decision. And I came close to declining this. I came close, but I'm like, you know what? I can't. This is $30. Okay, so here's the problem. Right, these 5 items right in the middle of the screen here, that is all meat and cheese from the deli counter. And look at the time on the screenshot when I got the offer, 7:35 in the morning. Folks, the deli counter does not open that early. It's a major problem. That's most of this order is deli counter, and the deli counter's closed. So, and like I said, a couple seconds, I almost declined it, and I thought, no, this is $30. So, and it's not my fault that this order is being placed this early, and I don't know why an order can be placed like this when the deli counter's closed. Okay, at all of the different restaurants, there's time you can't order until the place is open. Or say, for instance, if you're getting lunch from McDonald's, you can't place that order until the time when McDonald's is serving lunch. I don't understand at these grocery stores, these deli counters, they have hours. And why can't that be in the system? And you can't place an order before they open that counter. I don't know. But another reason I took it is because they do have, it's a limited selection, but they do have pre-packaged meats there that, and maybe a couple of these I'd be able to find pre-packaged. So, and whatever I can't find, and if the customer doesn't respond, it's not my fault, you know? So I went ahead and I chanced it. I pre-packaged. I only found one of the items. It was the turkey, and where is it here? It's like right in the middle. That oven roasted turkey breast, half a pound. I found that pre-packaged, and they didn't have anything else. And then an associate walked behind that counter. I said, "You, this counter isn't open yet, is it?" And he said, "No, not until 9." And I couldn't remember if it was 8 or 9. I can never remember that, but it was 9. So if it would have been 8, then I could have just piddled around for 15 minutes in the store, got the other items, and but we still had an hour and 15 minutes before that opened. Um, and then here it is, as expected, no response from the customer. Sent that. I sent the message. I went through the rest of the store, got the other, it was like 3 items, whatever it was, and then sent my other copy and paste message. And I did try to call, and no answer, and sent my other message, and checked out. And so another hit to my shopping stats, and I guess I just might as well just kind of give up on that pro shopper thing. But and something like this is, I mean, what can you do except not take the order? And I could have declined it if I was worried about the stats, but I mean, it's just I I don't know. That's something I shouldn't be penalized for, but whatever. I delivered this at 8:19, so that's, what is that, 25, 30, like what, 44 minutes, something like that. Made over $29. That's awesome. And look at the DoorDash base pay on that, $22.25 base pay. So when I saw that, I like something, and for let's pull up the list again. So a $22 base pay for 5 things from the deli, a 3 pound bag of cat food, cheddar cheese, and a gallon of milk. And that's a $22 base pay. So folks, comment below if your guess is what happened on this order, but something was not right. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if, like, I have had, this only happened to me once, and this was in my early first couple months of dashing. I had an order where the system messed up, and I was getting an order that had already been shopped and like delivered to the customer. And then when I got there, the customer was like, "No, I already got the stuff, so you just take it back to the store, or cancel it, do whatever you want, but I already got it." And then something was fluky or something with this. I don't know, because like I said, a $22 base pay for this little order, something was wrong. I don't know. And I never heard anything from the customer or anything. So I went in and took this $11, TJ's and McDonald's. The only thing you kind of have to be careful on orders like this, because one of them could have been a minimum $2, no tip order. So that's what's kind of scary about that. But that was not the case. Each customer tipped $2, so great. Finished that, and in 34 minutes. So didn't make great time on that, but still, it's still okay. Here we go. Another high paying order, $23, 8.5 miles. I only got a shop for 13 things from Aldi's and one item from PetSmart. Absolutely. And yeah, I got a couple other offers on here, so it wasn't going to be just as simple as this. Okay, so just within not even a minute of taking that, they tried to add this add-on for another PetSmart for $3, and it was going to add another 4 miles. And look at the customer for this new order isn't anywhere near the four other locations, so decline. Okay. Okay, so here's my 13 items. Get to Aldi's at 9:09. And 3 minutes later, like I'm in the store, I think I shop like two or three items when I get this add-on. Um, an additional $23 only at not even 4 miles added, but 42 items. Okay. So so I'm in the store and I was only going to shop 13 items. Now, if I take this, I got to shop over 50 items now. But this is an order that I normally would take. So, and and okay, this is going to be time consuming. So the original two customers that I had, their deliveries are going to significantly get pushed out now. But the way I looked at it, hey, this is an order that I normally take. I'm already in the store. I'm going to take it. So, and here we go. So, all total, I didn't. I had. I guess the main problem was like so many items and in my list on the app they weren't all grouped together, so I was doing a lot of traveling to this throughout the store. There was a couple different areas that I was like I kept backtracking and going to some areas twice, and that type of thing. It was a little time consuming. It took just under 40 minutes to shop. I would have just been in there like 10 or 15, but you throw a 40 plus item, shop on there. The new customer you see here was 36 uh, things to shop for, 42 total units. And then I wasn't sure, was I going to the pet store first or no, it had me deliver that add-on Aldi's customer. So after I checked out with the two Aldi's order, I drove away from that area and delivered the Aldi's add-on, and there you see there at 10, 12, 8.50 and a $15 tip. Now I came back the way I had just traveled and past the Aldi's and now off to the pet store. Okay. I should have kept the originals. I deleted it, but I should have kept the original screenshot here. A few minutes before 10:27, I don't know, probably, let's just say 10:22. So I pull up to the pet store, I park, and I'm about to take this screenshot, but it says, instead of arrived at store, it still says directions. And I'm like, why isn't this showing as me arriving? Guys, I was at the wrong location. I was at Pet Supplies Plus and not PetSmart. So, On rare occasions that does happen to me. It is what it is. Um, I was at the wrong place. It was a subliminal thing because I was meaning to go to Pet Supplies Plus after my dash to pick up dog food for our dogs. I think that's what kind of had me go to that location. But it just took me a couple of seconds to realize what I did, and then I was off to PetSmart. No big deal. It's not, it wasn't too far out of the way, or cost me. It only cost me like 1 or 2 minutes. It's no big deal. Okay, so I go into PetSmart, pick up that dog food. That was real easy. So deliver the first Aldi's order at 10:43. So wow, so I originally got the offer at 9:03, and that delivered an hour and 40 minutes later. So man, and I should have screenshotted what the new, after accepting that other order, I should have took a screenshot of what the new updated delivery time would have been. Um, but yeah, that's as a customer myself, I've never had an order delayed. Like I've had some of my deliveries, the Dasher has had other trips to make, and I wait on it, but never that long. So I finally made that delivery, and then then the second one 11 minutes later at 10:54, and there you see the 12.25, and then 5.50 tip and $6 tip. Um, so an hour and almost 2 hours, but for the $23, but had the other 20 whatever it was. How much was the other one? Where's that screenshot? $23. So two $23 orders in almost 2 hours, basically. Not doing Best Buy unless most of these are. This is the typical like Best Buy item. Best Buy offer that I see, $8 to $12. 10 to 15 miles. Most of them are the same. Not doing them. So I've only done a couple Best Buys because they don't. It's the offers aren't good for me. This is a bad one. $10, 14 miles, Piata, and shopping two things at Walgreens, and $10. No thanks. I mean, it is just going to one customer. I mean, that's the only good thing about it. Still haven't done Raising Canes, and not doing this. 10 miles for 12.75, and I also got to shop five things at Dollar General. Not doing it. I took this 8.25, 3.7 Chick-fil-A. Had a couple of these today, a couple $8-ish orders that took me about 20 minutes. And 2.25, $6 tip. Here we go. Another big one. Another order close to $30. 28.49, 10 miles, 40 items from Target. However, you see here in this list, when I get to Target, you see some multiples here. Some of these cans of coffee, these absorbing sheets, the fruit cups. Not pictured on this screenshot was 5 bananas. So out of what I say, 40 items. Okay, so it was only 24 things to shop for. And then you see a couple other things here from HBC. Took me 20 minutes flat. There was a couple things. There was uh let's see. The cans of coffee had to be substituted. I thought there was something else that I had to mark unavailable, or I now I can't remember what it even was, and delivered that at 12:32. So that took just over an hour on that one. Made 28.49, 15.75 plus a 12.74 tip. Let's do a hidden tip order. It says 720. This says probably going to pay like $8, something like that, for less than 3 miles. Absolutely. And this took me just what is that? 18 minutes, and it paid 8.50. So pretty easy. Order was ready when I got there. Not doing this. Sonic is kind of like the Best Buys. They're usually longer distance, and it just not doesn't pay well. I see Sonic orders fairly regularly, but hardly ever do them. And then here's another one. I think this was my last order. 8.50 4 Mile Cracker Barrel. Absolutely. Um, Needed to get gas as well, and this was dropping off near the gas station that I wanted to go to, so that worked out. And delivered that at 1:16, 18 minutes, made the 8.50, 2.50, and a $6 tip. You see the pause here, and then I must have, like when I was reaching for my phone, I must have accidentally unpaused it, because that was supposed to be the end of my dash, but then I accidentally resumed the dash and got this offer decline, and as fast as I could ended the dash. And so here we go. My normal weekday goal would be 150. My wife was messing with me this morning. She's like, "No, you need to do 200 today. You got to do more than 150." So I kind of met her in the middle. I did 183.25 in just 6 hours, little over 6 hours. Pretty good. 12 deliveries. I only had an hour of downtime. Some of that was, well, of course, I had about 20 minutes at the start. So that was 20 minutes of it. And then I took about one of the customer drop offs. I was just kind of like, I was a little bit outside a zone, and I was kind of away from the different hot spots and everything. So I just sat on the street near that customer. I was getting kind of hungry, so I ate some of my food that I took with me. So that was about 10 or 15 minutes there. And then the rest of it would have been just like driving back to zone. So I was never like, except for the first 20 minutes, I was never like sitting in zone waiting for an order. So I was kept busy. I was on the move, guys. I was on the move. And that is it for today. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we're going to do this all again tomorrow for sure. Well, let's make that $200 tomorrow. I'm ready already. All right, guys. Take care, and thanks again.